Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are on this beautiful place we call Earth. We are back with another episode of the Black Money Podcast. And what else will we be talking about? Finances, of course. Excuse the music you hear in the background and the little noises you might hear because I'm getting my nails done. That's besides the point. I just had to get this video out to y'all immediately, ASAP, like Rocky. Right? So let's get straight to it. What is SVB? I'm gonna Google it right here on my other phone so you guys can get the textbook definition. SVB. SVB. What does SVB stand for? Silicon Valley Bank, right? And what are they known for? Silicon Valley Bank is known for investing in renewable energy and technology, making a more attractive partner for certain tech-focused startups. Initial reporting did not confirm any exposure among sizable waste or recycling companies in that category. So they are basically a technology-based, renewable energy-based bank. And what they do is what all banks do. They accept deposits and withdrawals, transactions, all things of that nature. Now, let's talk about the collapse of SVB and how a bank can collapse, right? So I'm gonna Google. I want to be textbook with this because I want you guys to understand what is a bank collapse. Right? A bank failure occurs when a bank is unable to meet its obligations to its depositors or other creditors because it has become insolvent or too illiquid to meet its liabilities, right? So SVB is doing what every bank does. Banks, let's just say you go to the bank right now and deposit $1 million. That $1 million will be out of that bank before the day is over. And the reason is because banks is going to use that million, invest it without your permission because you gave them your money, so they have the right to do whatever they want with that money because you gave it to them. And they're going to use that bread and invest it to, let's just say, make them $50,000 a month or $100,000 a month over the next year. Because they know you're not going to need $1 million at one time. The most you're probably going to need is a couple of thousand, maybe 20,000, or at the max 100. You're not going to need more than that. And even requesting anything over $20,000 will have to go through a bank request, and you won't be able to get that money immediately. I have a bank account with over 6 figures, and when I try to withdraw anything over 20,000, I have to make a bank request. Anything over 20,000, it has to be a bank request. Now, I do have a DDA account with Chase, and Chase will let me take literally whatever I want out. Like, I don't have over $1 million in my account. I'm blessed. How about yourself? I'm not the type to go take out $100,000 at one time. I'm never gonna need that. But if I needed to, Chase will allow me to do that. But Chase is the largest bank in the world. That's the only reason they let me do that. Other banks will not let you do that because they do not have the funds. They use their funds for investing, and all of their money is tied up into that. So when people request, a lot of people are requesting this or that at a specific time. Guess what? They're not able to. And the reason is because that $1 million is gone. X amount of dollars is gone, right? So let's talk about SVB's case. SVB, Silicon Valley Bank, and I was just talking about this. They kept investing until, they got to make payments to people. They have companies and bills just like us. Companies have bills. They have people they have to pay, but don't have the money to pay it. So obviously they became insolvent. And what they did was they said, look, we don't have no money to make these payments, so we need help. And the help that they got was from Chase and the government. So the government came out with this new program, and I'm about to recall what the name of the new government program is called. New Government Bank Program. They just came out with this because it's SVB. It's called the Bank Term Funding Program. And what this means is it'll give you 1 year, any amount of money you want. Chase and the government will give you a lump sum of money, and with this money you have to obviously pay the people you owe, and then you have to pay us back, what we paid you at X amount rate. That way, no bank can become insolvent because that's literally they're going to get money from another bank. Just run money in circles. That's all they're literally doing. And now you see that as the CEO and the CFO, if you don't know, CEO is the Chief Executive Officer, CFO is the Chief Financial Officer. These are usually the people who started the company or helped establish the company, helped find the company, sometimes, most of the time. These guys are being sued now because right before the banks collapsed, they sold all of their shares. So just imagine you have $10 million in this bank, $20 million in this bank, and you have millions of dollars invested into the bank as well. So not only do you have money in the bank, you have money invested into the bank through the stock market, right? And you see that the shares plummet 56%. How is that possible? The only way shares can plummet more than really 20-30% is if the main shareholder sells, or someone who is in control of most of the shares, such as the CEO, CFO, or is in control of the bank. That's what they sell. And that highly affects, obviously, the market price, the market value, because if someone who owns something is trying to sell it, why would you want to, try to be a part of that, or not try to get it for the cheapest price you possibly can, right? So now the CEO and CFO are being sued because of the reasons that I just mentioned. So that being said, guys, I want you guys to really understand and look into the FDIC and understand the rules and regulations, because I'm a basketball player and I've understood this since a young age. The FDIC only insures $250,000. But the thing is, they only insure $250,000. They insure $250,000 for every bank account that you have. So if you have 10 bank accounts with 10 different banks, they will insure $250,000 for every single one of those bank accounts. Boom, right there, that's $2.5 million. Versus if you have $2.5 million in SVB, and let's just say that fake collapse, whatever you want to call it, you wouldn't have access to anything over $250,000. And that was the issue, because everybody was like, bro, Silicon Valley is where Meta, Apple, Nike, Google, technology-based companies like Microsoft and stuff like that, Google, keep all of their money. The CEOs, CFOs, they all stay in Silicon Valley. That's where all of them bank with. So obviously, most people at that bank have they said the average account there was like $550,000. So the average person at the average person at that bank could have potentially, with that collapse, potentially lost $300,000. That's just the average person. So just imagine about the billionaires and the millionaires, right? So I just really want you guys to understand that you don't want to keep the old saying, don't keep all your eggs in one basket. Have multiple bank accounts. And the reason is because this. And also understand interest rates, because guess what? No bank will ever give you a good interest rate. Think about this. If you were to invest with a bank, and I invest with multiple banks, the highest return on your investment that I'm seeing, me personally, and this is very, very high, is 8% a year. Think about that. 8% a year. So let's just say I invest $100,000. I'm receiving at the end of the year profit $108,000. And you're like, why would you do that? That's not a lot of money. Well, guess what? If you invest $1 million, that's $80,000. You invest $10 million, that's $800,000. So on and so forth, right? So you got to really understand that the way that the game goes is not going to be possible for you guys to get all of your funds immediately. And that's why you want to diversify and really understand that everything is not as easy as it seems. Everything is not what it seems, and especially when it comes to finances and banking. So I love you guys. I appreciate you for watching the video, and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.